Hi, I'm Enda Fallon.
Hi, I'm Conor Gill.
My name is Colin O'Reilly.
And we're going to talk to you today about how to motivate consumers to buy products or services.
How are you?
How's things?
I'm looking for a new office chair.
For what, sorry?
For my office, I'm after kicking
A new office, grand. There's a few chairs there if you want to have a look, and if you see anything, you can come back.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Hey, how are you?
How's things? I'm Enda. Nice to meet you.
Lovely. I'm here now today and I want a new office chair for my office.
For a new office chair, no problem. So we have three range of chairs here. We'll start with the first one there. It's a very well known durable chair. It's very good for a low entry key into your table. We have a second one here which is on wheels. It's easy to manoeuvre if you have to move to and from different desks. And then the third one here which is very good for back support if you have any back issues or things like that. That has no wheels, but it's very good to know, yeah?
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. The two methods in which we're going to motivate people to buy products or service are, for me, firstly, to make it all about the consumer. Don't use words like me, my, we, or us. Make sure to use words like you and your. Doing this, you'll be a lot more direct. And to the consumer, it is an important factor, especially if you want to utilize and to make it a successful sale. The more direct, the more personal in certain circumstances to consumers about a product or service that will be of use to them is the most beneficial for all parties involved. The second one is to promote the product or service positively. Why buy the product? Make it about them. One such idea could be a FAB approach, which is features, advantages and benefits. The features, you can talk about the characteristics of your product or service. For example, if we use a sleeping bag, simple product that many people wouldn't think about it. But if you talk about the features of that, you can talk about the thick insulation layer. Then you can move on to the advantages of that. It's more factual information and you're not lying to the customer. For example, again with the sleeping bag, it'll retain body heat on cold nights. And then one benefit of it, from using your product, you get a nice, undisturbed, warm sleep. So from that, I'm going to talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Overall, it's a dynamic visual representation of needs, covering both physical and spiritual aspects. It offers simple and effective ways of identifying the different needs consumers have. This is very important to consider for each marketer, as within the overall pyramid, not as successive stages to help marketers understand how consumers purchase certain goods. Maslow's first stage is the psychological needs. All functions relate to personal survival. Since they're basic, vital needs, they are obvious and the most important for marketers to do business in. The markets are always changing and fast-paced in this level, as the market size is immense. For example, consumer hunger, and when you see a restaurant advertising campaign states how filling their food is. This will be very beneficial and very useful for marketers to use to sell their product and their service. The second level is about security needs. Maslow states that security needs lead people to prefer what is familiar, rather than the unknown. This is important to note, as new products or brand in the market will have to conduct a huge amount of brand awareness and building corporate identity at the beginning. This is also important for marketers to know this and to expect this, especially when it comes to cost. Another example could be an advert featuring the safety ratings of a new car being prioritized than the value of the product or the overall price. For example, the new Volvo XC90 and a stop braking feature. The third level is recognition needs. This category takes into account the social nature of the human being. There are many influential reference groups in society throughout the world. These groups should always have a positive experience with your product or your service. If it is seen to improve standards of recognition for certain people, many people who see these consumers in particular in reference groups will begin to buy and to use their product. You should always sell it in a manner which is attractive to the consumer, whether that be a product or a service. Another example could be driving an Audi Q7 versus a Toyota Yaris. Two different experiences, but one combines prestige and comfort versus reliable and cheap. The fourth level is the esteem needs. This category refers to the needs relating status, employment, power, and money that defines many people in society we live in today. For marketers, people's professionals and hobbies often reflect their needs to gain recognition, so appeal to this higher level of psychological motivation as a way to persuade customers. Offer a luxury experience, an opportunity to master something or gain recognition from your service. The fifth one and final one is accomplish needs. While the needs of the lower level depend on the perception of others, the needs to top of the pyramid are related to the development and individual of their personality. Appeal to this level of motivation is to be the brand that represents achieving self-actualization and one that helps an individual achieve their goals. Putting our product or service into the pyramid leads us to consider and develop strategies that are sometimes very different. For example, we wouldn't market a staple product as a high piece of high technology. As a result, it is necessary to adapt the company's message according to each target audience for marketers.
So 2 ways to motivate the consumer to buy is to communicate a consistent message from your business and to improve brand image. So it's fair to say that every business needs a consistent voice. Define your primary target audience and don't try to be everything to everyone, because it's fair to say that every project doesn't suit everyone. To develop a jargon-free and compelling message that can be delivered consistently across all paths within your business. Get everyone in your business to deliver the same message, because if your offer is clear, then it is much easier to sell the product. Improving your brand image is another one, and consumers' decisions are highly influenced by their awareness and relationships within a company or of a brand. Because as we see, if you take, for instance, Apple, you know that the battery life of their phones isn't the best, yet it may be easier to use and the aesthetics of the phone is nice. So it's going to give you a reason to buy because you know exactly what it is. And not only should the brand reflect a business's values and message, but it should really engage with the business's target audience. People choose brands the same way they choose friends, attracted or repelled by a particular set of characteristics. And a consumer will make their decisions on how the brand makes them feel. And building a brand which motivates consumers to buy won't happen overnight. It's a long process and takes time. It's important to motivate consumers to what they want by the product, by positioning it in the marketplace to appeal to a single desired certain target audience. Having to be everything to everyone doesn't make a consumer feel special, because at the end of the day, every product doesn't match everyone, and there are going to be dislikes to it by some consumers. Position the product related to men and women, such as adults or young people or families on a budget. The more business can niche a product, the more brand loyalty they can build and a higher chance of motivating the consumers to buy. So the theories I'm going to use is Sproul's and Kendall's shopping motives that looks at the consumer's decision. And as I previously mentioned above, brand image is important, and their model is designed to measure the decision-making styles of a consumer. It's an 8-piece model, and it involves what, again, I mentioned above, the brand image is important, and it relates to the brand reputation in terms of getting the consumer to motivate them to buy your product.
The first motive which I will discuss is offer testing of products to the consumers. This will let them review the products and will motivate them to purchase them. This will in turn make the customer be aware of the product, creating brand awareness. The theory of motivation I have studied is the theory and shopping motives by Ireland Reynolds. The theory is broken up into 6 different shopping methods. These are 1. Adventure shopping, 2. Social shopping, 3. Gratification shopping, 4. Idea shopping, 5. Role shopping, and 6. Value shopping. The first part of the theory I will look at is adventure shopping. This is where individuals seek stimulation, adventures, and feeling of being in a different world. This would be people buying unique products. These type of shoppers get a sense of euphoria when purchasing these products. Social shopping is where people go shopping for the social aspect of it. For example, they will go shopping in the hope of meeting friends or family and may organise to go shopping with them during the week. Gratification shopping, Ireland Reynolds believed that when people shopped under this theory, they were doing it for stress relief or to change one's mood. The shopper will do this because they feel they deserve it to treat themselves. Next, idea shopping. This is shopping done by people who like to keep up with the current trends that are into fashion. Shoppers like this would be very keen on getting new things when they are released, for example, the latest smartphone. Role shopping is done by shopping for an individual. This is very common during the Christmas period where people would shop for friends and family. Value shopping. These types of shoppers are people who are always on the lookout for a bargain. They tend to shop mostly when the products are reduced or during sale. This type of shopper thrives during Black Friday when there are best opportunities to get products cheap.